And I guess it'll function as a really good reference point for you if you need to go back and understand some stuff. So, without further ado, as people come in, maybe I will get Vivian to be a co-host
Sure.
so she can let people in because when I'm
Yep.
doing this, I can't see anybody.
No problem.
Make co-host. Great.
Good morning,
Okay.
Vivian. Good morning, Julian.
Good morning, Kimoy.
Hi,
How are
Kimoy.
you?
I just want everyone. I had sent a message to Julian. I have to go to another engagement and I have to take a taxi to get there. And the taxi is waiting. So I just wanted to greet everybody, thank everybody for coming, and let you know that Miss Janesta Charles will attend on behalf of the NTA. So I thank also the partnering institutions for attending, and I'm hoping that at the end of the meeting there's going to be clarity so people can understand what the initiative is about. So
Yes.
Julian, you can send me a message afterwards. When I have
Sure.
Wi-Fi connectivity, I can respond. And thank you very much, and sorry about that.
No
Yes.
problem. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. So let me start off. For those of you who are completely new to this, and I know there are some, we've got quite a few people today. We've got Jordan from St. Lucia. We've got Janesta and Devon, I believe, from Grenada. And I think we also have some people.
Jamaica. Devon from Jamaica, VTDI.
Oh, right. Sorry. And so we have basically all three countries represented today, which is fantastic. Um, I'm just going to do this presentation again that I did for some of you, but I think this might be useful again just to go through everything that we are doing. Hang on, this is the wrong one. Why am I showing device for Kenya?
Hmm.
Stop sharing. Okay. CBVET. That's the one. Okay. Sorry about that. It's just one of those days where everything is happening at once, and we're trying to do our best to navigate it all. So here we go. Um, so some of you are already familiar with the Erasmus program, and the call that we're all going for this time around is the capacity building for vocational education and training. And it's important to note that it's not a general purpose cash grant, which means that the money you get from the European Union, if our project is approved, has to be used for very specific activities that enhance the country's VAT capabilities, and to make sure that everything allows the European partners to bring an international dimension and best practices as well. But not just that, you guys have to decide how you're going to apply that to your own systems. So it's not just a matter of porting over technology or best practices. It's about you learning how to do things. Yes, Sister Margaret?
Yes, sorry to cut in. Will we get this presentation?
Yes, and also I'm recording this and I'll send you the recording.
Oh, okay, so we'll get both the PowerPoint and the recorded.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. I just want to be sure, so I listen instead of noting.
Yes, don't note. All right, thank you. So why do we want to do capacity building? Because we have identified a need for the community. And in this case, we identify the community as the three Caribbean nations involved. So we've identified that there are high numbers of needs, not in education, employment, or training. And obviously, all three nations share similar issues and challenges. And we've noticed that there is a mismatch between what the schools teach and what industry actually needs in order to make hires that last. And also, there's the age old problem everywhere of reaching our target communities. So what we want to do is to move people from vulnerable to vocational and make sure that they have the right skills for it. Okay. And there are some mandatory partnerships required in this call. We need at least 2 TVET providers or organizations with a clear sense of what this means, and they will be the ones getting funding. And I believe most people on this call are from TVET providers. We also need 1 industry partner who will be funded. And these are the people that will be able to help us translate our goals into action. We'll explain that a lot further when Vivian does her presentation. So alongside that, we need a lot of associate partners to give us the support for our projects. Now, it's important to note that they are not going to be funded. In most cases, the European Union these would be people like authorities or ministries, or maybe even other industry partners. So if it's a ministry, obviously they're getting funding from their own government, so the European Union will not support them with any more funding. So the way it works is that the TVET provider partners will provide the local expertise and student base, and I should also say the teachers, conduct the learning and capacity building through a series of collaborative peer learning and resource sharing methodologies, which the European partners will share with you, but which you will then take and develop to suit your own local needs. The industry partners are basically the hero here, because in a way they will prove or validate our results to the European Union. And they can do various things like offer apprenticeships, internships, advising on curricular development, etc. But we have come up with a new strategy, which Vivian will present on later, which we think will suit the Caribbean market much better. And there are 3 pillars for the CBVAT call. It focuses on curriculum and the quality of the training to make sure that we address local needs. It's also very important that the staff involved are developed professionally and personally in terms of new technology, new methodologies of engaging with people, of teaching, and also because inclusion is a big priority for the European Union, we want to look at how we can include inclusive pedagogy and didactics in our project. Okay, so if you're dealing with vulnerable people, if you're dealing with maybe neurodiverse people, how do you include these people effectively? In terms of governance and links, that's also important. So because it's CBVAT, we have to show a strong pathway between school and the labor market, because you are vocational education after all. You're not all going to be researchers or professors. I mean, your target market. So we have to show a strong link between what they're learning and what they can bring to the economy, basically. There is a strong social impact focus, and that means in terms of direct action, how does the project support your target groups? Are they going to learn things that are important for the 21st century, like green skills, digital skills, that sort of stuff? I've already mentioned the priority of inclusion. So how will you build specialized support systems for your target groups within the framework that we're going to work with? It's also not just about the students, it's also about the teachers, it's also about the industry, because industry partners sometimes don't know how to engage fully well with the students or even with you institutions. So, you know, we need to make sure that it's a tripartite framework. And in terms of outcomes, what are we going to look for? Are we going to create safe spaces for learning? Or, you know, are we going to improve their opportunities of employability and maybe help them achieve financial independence? Because if we're talking of poverty cycles, that's one way of breaking it, right? Rather than depending on handouts, making them independent and self-resilient. In terms of accountability and compliance, Funding is only released in installments, and they are all based on the deliverables that we will write in the project. So if one of the deliverables is to run a team challenge, then you will be funded based on how much we think that team challenge will cost to run. Every euro must be linked to a specific project activity with a clear audit trail, because the European Union reserves the right to contact any partner and say they want to audit a particular thing. So make sure that you have a clear audit trail and don't just use the money for a nice holiday in the Bahamas or something else. The project must be sustainable. So we need, as a consortium, to prove that it can continue long after the EU funding ends. And it also could be lovely grounds for us to do project part 2 in the future. So in terms of the Caribbean context, you guys represent the TVET institutions. So you will be working with your target groups, which might be the students you identify as needing the interventions. But you don't operate in a vacuum, because you operate within your communities, as do the students. So we need to ensure that all our interventions involve the community in some aspect, and also the industry, because basically, I suppose community should encompass the entire diagram. And then there might be other stakeholders like governments, authorities that you report to, etc., etc. So if we're creating new curricula, you might be able to get them approved locally by your TVET authority or by the Ministry or Department of Education, stuff like that. So these are other stakeholders which will come in very handily in the project. So the next steps, I've already told you, you should already have a PIC number. If not, make sure this is your project today, because without a PIC number, you will not be listed in the application form. Okay, we will not be able to call your details up. When we enter your PIC number, it automatically populates it with your information. And if you haven't sent us your PIF files, please do those, because we need the information on that file. We have to make a strong case for why you need to be in this project. Okay, so having the PIF files and the information on there will be extremely helpful. Now, you will note that the important fact is this application must be submitted on the 26th of March, which gives us literally 13 days. Well, less than that, because we have to try and submit way before that time. And anybody who's ever used the European Union system knows people always leave it to the last minute, at which point probably 1,000 people try and access the system and it crashes. And then we're all extremely stressed because we can't submit it in time. So planning is key. And that's why Vivian and I have started writing the application. And if you have any questions about the overall process, please feel free to ask me at this point. Otherwise, Vivian will be happy to share the actual project itself. Was that too fast for everyone? I guess
No, it was quite
responding.
clear. No, it was quite clear.
Fantastic. Thank you
Okay.
very much. So, Vivian, over to you.
Yes, I will. Well, I'm just giving you an overview, because obviously such a project consists of various tasks, etc., which might sound complicated here, but we have broken it down to, well, a broader picture. So am I in presentation mode? You can see my slide now.
Yeah, but you've chosen the wrong screen, I think.
So you're seeing my notices.
Yeah.
Or can I change that?
Just stop sharing, and then when you share, choose. There will be probably 3 screens that you'll see that are related to your PowerPoint, and the one that takes up the whole window is the one you need.
That's the one I chose. Well, let's try it again. No.
Yay! Well done.
All right. It's the same for me now here, but okay. Okay, so we have. Oh, I need to let Dr. Kato in, or can
No,
you
I've
do
done
it
it.
now?
Don't worry.
Okay, okay. So we have given this project a name which sounded quite nice to us, at least, to the Caribbean context. So the project name is going to be CORAL, Caribbean Occupation and Regional Alliance for Learning. And let me click on the second. So Julian has already mentioned, thanks to your colleagues who have provided some reports about the islands, we noticed we were seeing a problem which we are trying to solve. So there is a skills industry disconnect. So it is reported that TVET graduates are often leaving schools without the skills employers actually need. Julian, there's someone waiting. And especially in
No.
certain, well, it shows me, Raquel. So, okay, I let her in. So in certain sectors, they are going, thanks to AI, thanks to globalization, there are happening a lot of things, but obviously same in Germany, the curricula can't keep up with all these changes all of a sudden. So the result on the islands is kind of a high youth unemployment, there are unfilled vacancies and certain missed opportunities because of this for regional growth. So what we are seeing here is that there are different islands which obviously have different challenges, but certain challenges are the same. In this case, that there is no shared platform connecting TVET providers with employees and learners across islands, that teachers and trainers sometimes lack updated pedagogical tools for work-based learning. Not in general, obviously, you also have good skilled trainers, but in the relation with work-based learning, that the industry voice is quite absent from the curriculum design, and there's limited cross-island collaboration, which is possible. So we want to deal with this. You might know that in Europe, there is a huge trend, or there was already. Germany has always been into this for dual apprenticeships or dual VET systems. These are hard to transfer to other countries. There has been a lot of research going on, and you can't just transfer a working system in one context to another. This is like, I don't like that neither, because it has certain, I don't know. I think it should be adapted to a context. So in Coral, first of all, we are going to do some mapping. So we will see what the labor market needs. We will have certain employee services, and then we all together are going to build this Caribbean TVET industry framework. So it's not that Julian and I will create this. We are doing this together according to the needs which are there and to the conditions which are there. Based on this, we are going to develop together a digital platform as well as a curriculum, which is not a totally new curriculum. We all know that this is not possible. No, it's rather certain modules which consist of challenge-based learning, and these we are going to implement into the existing curriculum as certain classes for the students. So it sounds bigger than it actually is. And obviously, connected with this is teacher and also trainer training, student placements if possible. And as Julian mentioned, these projects need to be sustainable. So we are looking for a policy dialogue at least, and a way to see how this project can work beyond the 3-year funding. So how does the Coral concept look like? As I mentioned before, we are looking at challenge-based learning. So, as I also said before, the European dual apprenticeship needs a lot of supervisory capacity. It often needs larger employees. It needs a lot of administration. So when we are talking about this island where we found out that 70 to 80% are small and medium enterprises, they often don't have the capacity, and also it's hard to get it acknowledged. So we will need another model to integrate more work-based learning into the curricula. And what we want to do is that the companies don't offer huge company placements, which are also not always only if they have an in-company curriculum lead to the goal. No, these small and medium enterprises, as they have limited resources, they often are facing problems and they would like to solve these problems, but thanks to their day-to-day work, they are also busy. They don't have the capacity. They don't have research capacity. They can't solve maybe their problems or challenges they are facing. So what they are doing, they are posting real operational challenges they are facing to the platform. And then the authentic learning takes place as students, together with their teachers, within these challenge-based modules we are having in the curriculum, are solving the companies. So this means for the companies, it's a low barrier because they don't need to provide a lot of mentoring for the students. They don't need to provide a lot of time for the students. We are aiming, because for students, obviously, to tackle a challenge, it's better to know the company. Otherwise, it's hard to fully get the challenge. So if possible, it would be good that the company accept the students and at least gives them an overview how the company operates and what they are doing. But it's also possible without. So because this platform we are creating is also going to be cross-island. So if a company from Grenada is having a problem and a vet school on St. Lucia is in their curriculum dealing with similar issues, they can take up this challenge, and via the platform they can communicate with the company. So the students actually have a real case. They are not working on something theoretical related to the curriculum. No, they have a company telling them their challenge, and they can work afterwards, and they are in contact with the company. So it is more work related. And how does this look like step by step? So it's actually quite simple. Companies post a challenge, the classes take them on, students develop solutions. There's going to be we can think about if there are different student team, if the whole class is working on the problem. This is like not set in stone. This is part of the project. Then the company evaluates the pitch from the class, gives feedback, and then the results feedback into our system. That's literally the whole idea. And yeah, this core platform, which Julian is going to create, is going to be a hub. So several things are going together there. This is also not set in stone what exactly we are doing there. We can also add certain micro credentials. It is an exchange platform for TVET institution. It is a learner platform, so students can also access OER materials, and we will also track the competency progress there. It is for industry also, but we need to talk what industry is interested about, and it also will include a policy dashboard. And how are we going to do this? Literally, we are having 6 work packages. Work package 1 and 6 are ongoing through the 3-year lifespan of the project. The other ones are building on each other. So first of all, we do the mapping and the co-design. Then we are going to develop the platform and curriculum. Parallel to this, there's going to be teacher and trainer training. It is offered to not only the participating vet schools, if there are other vet schools interested in participate or trainers from company, we are open. And then we are going to test our approach in maybe 1 or 2 cycles and pilot it. That's the work packages and the project rollout. We are 2 EU partners which is Julian and me. We are having several Caribbean partners, which in the best case should be 2 vet college and 1 industry. Not in the best case, it actually needs to be like this. And we furthermore will need associate partners. As Julian already mentioned, they are very, very important for this kind of projects because we have high competency. Competency is not the word, concurrence. In Germany, it's
competition.
Competition. Thanks, Julian. The German word is closer to competency. Well, so we need associate partners which work for free, support the project, but don't need to do a lot for it. It's rather giving their names and getting promoted as well. So what's in for the organizations which are participating? You get up-to-date curriculum modules ready to embed in your program, which are compatible with it, I guess. You get access to the Challenge Exchange platform and the OER library. You get your staff trained by Julian and myself when we are coming to the island, and also in certain online trainings. Before project meetings, we usually offer some project meeting trainings, which we can discuss furthermore. So there's more time for training. Your students can engage with real companies and can gain experience. And also you can raise your profile in regional and also international vet community, as this platform is open and will increase, so you will be one of the founders. So for industry or small and medium enterprise partners, the students obviously tackle real operational challenges, so they get free research. There is no supervisory burden, but they should have certain communication with the students, but it's not a huge time they spend, but they will get, it depends how much time they invest, get to know the graduates, and the graduates will know the sector. They will be very visible everywhere on our communication and also on the final conference. And they can have some input on curriculum design. So they can, if they're complaining that students are not gaining the necessary skills or competencies, okay, they can now have an impact in a small scale on it. And well, for us, obviously, we are learning a lot out of these. We are learning a lot about the Caribbean context. We are happy to enlarge our networks, and obviously, we are always interested in further collaboration. And well, Julia mentioned already, we have 500,000 for spending. Obviously, management dissemination needs a bit, but the other work packages, as you can see, have more budget. And the budget is going to be distributed by the monthly salary of institutions, which needs to be realistic because the EU has all the rates for every country. So if someone is charging far more, it's putting us in risk not getting approved because they will think we just want to make money out of it, and they don't want partners in capacity building because it's about capacity building. And then the budget is related to working hours. So every hour you spend working for this project is going to be paid by the EU. Also, travel is completely covered by the EU. Certain indirect costs which you can use for whatever you need are covered by the EU. And also the hosting partners always gets a budget for hosting the project meetings. There are going to be most likely 3 to 4 project meetings, 1 in Europe, hopefully, if the budget allows it, and 2 to 3 in the Caribbean. So on each island, 1 in the best case. Okay, that's it from my side. Questions to Julian and me now. I am going to stop the presentation so I can see more friendly faces. Or black screens, depends on.
Yes, Sister Margaret.
Well, thank you so much. Since the last page had the money, let me begin the question from the money. The 500,000 euros, is that per country or for the whole project?
It's for the whole project.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I have a question as well regarding the funding. The 18% which goes through the work plan number 4, I think it is, where the teachers actually have to carry out the curriculum and the training. That 18%, is it split amongst the TVET schools, or how is that? How does that work?
This is just for the work packages. So every partner is going to get assigned certain working hours they are spending on each working package, and these working hours are going to be paid. So it's per institution, per working
Okay.
hour, per work package. And once we have all your rates, we can first make an approximate calculation so we can let you
Okay.
know how much each institution is going to get for each work package.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you so much for that.
I'm unmuted, so can I go ahead and ask another question?
Of course.
Right. So I know you have two TVET providers and one industry. Now, can it happen that one of the two TVET providers who are selected, can they partner with other TVET institutions?
They can partner, of course, but the other TVET institution won't get any money out of this project. So if they are asking for money, you will share what you get with them.
Well, I mean, that's what I mean by partner. So if you're partnering with them, it means you are doing everything together. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but from a funding perspective, only the partner that is named as a funded party will receive the funds. How you wish to declare that or audit that is up to you. But if the European Union asks you, and you are say you are given $50,000, then the $50,000 is in your name, and how you choose to use that is up to you. But if they ask you specific questions, then it has to be related to all the deliverables you've been assigned to.
Okay, including whoever you partner with, whatever they did. So everything goes into the deliverables.
Yes, but
Under
remember,
your name.
you are responsible. So if you paid somebody something and they didn't do their work, you're going to have to do that work to catch up. So, sorry, can I ask Sister Margaret, which country you're from?
Grenada.
Grenada. Okay, fantastic. And you are with HHCJ, is that correct?
Oh, no, New Life Organization. The HHCJ is the religious group I belong to.
Right, okay.
I work with the New Life Organization. It's a Tibetan institution, yes.
Fantastic. Any other questions?
Yes, I have one more question. In regards to the associate partners, I cannot remember if you did tell me this, Dr. Julian, but they also have to get the PIC number and all of that and fill out the form and all of that as well, right?
Yes, everybody has to do this. And just so if you haven't done it before, you will, when you go to the link we send you, it will ask you, first of all, to create an ID for yourself. So when you create it, it sort of takes you back to a silly place. So you have to click on the same link again that I sent you at the beginning. And then because you're logged in with that new ID you've created, you can then create a PIC number. It's a bit confusing. It's not the most user-friendly site. And I had this with Zambia this morning because they said, we've signed in, but we don't know where our PIC number is.
Well, the associate partners need to do this, yes, but they don't need to fill out the PIF form. It's enough if we have an email contact, and it's enough to have a name and an email contact and the
And a
PIC
phone
number.
And a phone number.
It's just
not for associates?
No, associate only need PIC number, email address, contact. That's it, because they are not getting funding, so they don't need to give any further information.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. That really helps a lot. Okay, thanks.
Ms. Charles, do we have access to the link to get the PIC number?
If you haven't already received it from GNTA, GDTA, is that how you say it?
GNTA, yes, GNTA.
Yes. Then we can make sure that they send it on to you, or we can send it to you if we have your details. At the moment, I don't think we've got your details. So best to do it through, maybe Janesta is on with us. Maybe she can send on the details. Otherwise, Kimoy has them. So
Okay.
I can put the link here, but it's a general link. Give me a second. You can try the link I put here in the chat already, but more information, the partner with more detailed information, I believe, can be sent later on. But this is the link for participant register. So there you can start at least the process.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Cato, where are you? Which country are you from?
I'm in Grenada
Oh,
from the
fantastic.
TA Marshall Community College.
Fantastic. So you're one of the partners, is that right?
Correct.
Perfect.
So I don't know if this question is relevant, but during both of your presentations, you indicated only one, well, the partner, the one that will receive the funding, one industry partner that would be funded. And I am wondering, considering the project objectives and how many industries we have, is it the expectation of the project that maybe if you have the two TVET institutions in a country, each person selects a different industry partner so that you cover at least two industry? Because I'm wondering whether we have one industry that would provide opportunity for all 4 or 5 areas that the project is seeking to target. I don't know whether the question makes sense.
It makes total sense and it's totally understandable. Look, this partner constellation is arising from the priorities of this call and the strategy. So this call specifically wants to link TVET with industry. So as the competency is very, very hard, the only way we can show that we are really tackling this by having an industry partner. Obviously, 500,000 is not a lot of money considering traveling for so many partners. This is why we can only have one industry partner, an industry partner per island. So this industry partner is only, we will need more because, you know, we are tackling many professional areas. Schools can decide, you know, there are also priorities for the islands which are in green industry. In Jamaica, I believe it's also transportation and it's digitalization. But the areas we should focus on to develop these challenges should be related to green, to the green sector. But okay, if we are talking about electricity now, electricity, for example, is connected to photovoltaics. So there are certain areas which are still connected somehow, even though they are not specifically green technologies, can be considered to be delivering to green technologies. So you choose your areas, and based on that, we will need to find more industry partner, but we will need at least one industry partner, because this industry partner needs to give challenges to the island. So, but obviously these industry partners are limited. So if you have the possibility to involve, for example, a chamber of commerce or someone who has, or an association of certain industries, obviously you can cover more areas, but if not, we will need to deal with what we have, which is one industry partner delivering problems. Does that make any sense? Julian, you want to add something?
I think we maybe need to talk briefly about why that industry partner is being funded while others may not be. So maybe you can explain how that industry partner might be able to use some of the funding given to them.
Can you do that quickly? I need to jump in here for a
Okay,
second.
sure. So, I mean, it depends. Sometimes the industry partner needs to put some processes in place which might cost them money. They might need to set up some, I don't know, training labs or something like that. So they might be able to get some money towards that. So if you're talking about green skills, for example, with photovoltaics, they may need to set up a simulated photovoltaic panel so that students can understand how you actually connect a panel which is getting sun rays to making electricity. So, they don't need to have a whole roof of panels, but they do need at least maybe one to showcase how it's done if your school doesn't already have that, for example. But I think speaking with Delise from Jamaica, one of the issues that keeps coming up in Jamaica year after year is the hurricanes. And every time a hurricane hits, you have to then scramble to get back to where you were because, it takes up power lines and things like that. So maybe you can look at green skills from the perspective of resilience, community rebuilding, things like that, or maybe prevention of such issues in the future, etc., etc. So it's about how creative you can be. And when you're looking at industry partners, maybe have a chat with the other TVET school to see what areas both of you can maybe combine together to create a proper challenge. Now, you don't have to be in directly related fields. So, for example, if one of you is doing hospitality, and then the other one is doing something else, well, how can that company come up with a challenge that can traverse both disciplines? Maybe I think, Jordan, you're doing food sustainability, right? And then maybe there's
Yes.
a school that does culinary skills and stuff like that. So you can actually put those two things together. Yeah, Vivian, maybe you want to simplify that.
Well, that is just an idea that shows that there's still open things, but with industry, it's really about showing to the EU that industry has an input, and this industry partner needs to be available for the interviews at the beginning. The challenge they are providing is going to include certain students coming to the company, so that partner is getting some payments. The other industry partners might not provide so much support for the students, so they will just pitch their challenges they are facing and get solutions for it, but no budget. Okay, there are more questions. I think Genesta was first. Sorry if I don't say your name correct. Maybe she has given up because we were talking so much. Well,
No, she's there. She's back.
all right.
Go ahead, Janesta.
Yes.
Uh-oh. It keeps coming on and off.
Yeah.
But maybe you
Well,
can try the other person.
we go to your colleague.
Yes, this
No.
is York Alley. Oh, is that her?
Yes,
Yeah.
Go ahead, Janesta, if you can speak.
So are you able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And again, it's a very good project initiative. I think for me, the question has to be, well, currently on the call, there are 5 of our training institutions on the call, specializing in different areas. And so for one of the questions that I had was,
Your voice is a bit
one-
far. It sounds far, like you are far away. Your
Yeah.
voice sounds a bit far away.
It's a bit too soft for us. Maybe you could come closer to the microphone or speak louder.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Much
So
better.
my question was whether or not, what is the role we want the training institutions to play? Because we have 5 on the call now, I think it's that clarity is needed. Is it associate partners or as a TVET provider? And then secondly, it's about how do we build? There are projects happening across the region now. So how do we
avoid duplication of efforts and really see maximum benefits in terms of what are our priority needs currently and where do we need to expand what we're doing. And I think I also want to put in a plug here because I saw one of the slides we had that there is an absence of industry involvement in curriculum development. And I want us to just take a pause, add a bit of caution, because the vocational system that we operate now, so maybe it's not in all of the quality TVET is not embedded in all TVET programs that are delivered across the region. But where there are established national training authorities, the basis for the coordination of TVET is that we build the occupational standards in collaboration with industry. The persons that are, the capacity that is built to deliver training, it's with industry partners. So maybe you can tweak that to probably say limited, but I don't think it's fair for us to put out there that there is an absence of industry involvement in the development of curriculum in the Caribbean currently. And across the 3 territories that you're speaking about, I think we should probably manage the word and not use absence. That's the plug that I want to put in there. And then if we're talking about collaboration across the 3 member states, the synergies are important, because if we're prioritizing 4 sectors, how then do these partners or the member states truly benefit from the development that we're endeavoring to embed in these territories? Yeah, so those are my 2 cents for now.
Thank you, Janessa. Very, very important points. And we take your point about the absence versus limited or could be strengthened. We will look at the wording appropriately. I think with regard to your other questions, the first one is, we don't tell you what to do for your country. You need to identify the challenges that make sense for you, so that's why you choose disciplines and industries that are directly relevant. And think about it strategically, because we have to show results by the end of this funding cycle. So if you're going to choose an industry where you are going to be able to show results, rather than one where you won't be able to. And that would be very, very difficult otherwise for everyone. Or your country might be the only one that doesn't show results as effectively as others. The other question was relating to was it how the institutions could participate? What was it, the
whether it's the associate partners and the TVET partners, that we have 5 on this platform. So how do we get the associate partners and the TVET partners?
Not everybody was able to make today's meeting because it was called at the last minute, which is why we're recording this. So, but as far as I know, there are at least 2 TVET providers from each island nation already. And the only ones that we're missing now for some of the islands are the industry partners. As far as associate partners are concerned, you can roll out the red carpet and bring in as many as you like, because it will not be a detriment to us to have many associate partners, but it would be a detriment not to have the 3 funded partners, i.e. the 2 TVET colleges and the 1 industry partner. Hopefully that's clear. Okay, if not, then we move on to York Ali.
Yes, York Ali here. You said something just now regarding the collaboration with foods and another type of entity. Could you repeat which one it was?
Collaboration between what? You mean different disciplines?
Food and hospitality and another.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is totally up to you guys to decide what you want.
Noted.
But I was just saying that you don't have to say both schools are doing hospitality, because maybe one school doesn't even focus on hospitality. You can even have different industry partners, but just remember, you are going to only have 1 industry partner who will receive funding.
Here's where I'm going with this. Let's say, and I think this is how we can leverage a full regional collaboration and partnership. Let's say we have of all of the TVET institutions in the Caribbean, one of us have a really strong food and hospitality program going on. Like for example, let's just take for example Heart in Jamaica, because we have been supplying, great human resource assets to the hotel industry. It's happening across the Caribbean, but let's just take Heart as an example. And then we have this issue with the hurricane. Hurricane comes in, blows everything down, and we're trying to assemble assets to supply food to areas that are people who have been without food for, weeks, days, weeks. What I'm thinking of now, okay, we have that problem. Another way we can work, we can combine food and hospitality resources with solving a problem like that is with a program, a TVET institution that is really strong with supply chain and logistics. A lot of the aid companies that came into the area, their biggest thing that they brought was systems design. And I think this is where, let's say we have an entity in Grenada or St. Lucia, and they have a really good supply chain designed program, and they're sending people all over the world. How could we in Jamaica collaborate with those persons, to put something like, to put a system in place that is ready for when we have a hurricane or some other natural event?
Yeah, can I just make a point, Mr. Walters? So yes, I think we're making mention of the Dr. Julian highlighting the fact that we focus on sustainability and food systems and the close connection between here in St. Lucia, our entity focusing on that and sustainability and food waste, and connecting with a TVET institution that does provide the foundational culinary training, but not necessarily focused on the environmental factors per se as it relates to the culinary industry. That is where EcoFood would come in now and bolster up that component of the TVET skills training, so it complements each other. So I definitely understand what it is that you're saying, Mr. Walters.
Excellent. I like that.
Yeah.
It sounds like this Zoom session has opened opportunities, and nothing is totally set in stone at this point, but I think having an idea about where and how it could help your islands would be very useful. I think Grenada is lucky enough not to be hit by hurricanes generally. I don't know about St. Lucia, but I know Jamaica has a big issue with that almost every year. So maybe it would be good to think of practical solutions to challenges that you actually do face each year, because then we can show results, you can show initiatives, you can show students and staff getting involved. I mean, Delise was telling me she was, down there in jeans and, dirty clothes trying to help get things sorted out on some parts of the island. So it's really heartening to know that the community rallies together. Now, how do we form this into a structured, I suppose, intervention that your students can actually benefit from, as well as your teachers and the overall community? I think this is where we can call it capacity building, and that it's not just affecting one sector. Oh, we've got Phoebe. Where are you from, Phoebe?
From Grenada.
Oh, great. We have a nice Grenadian, however you say it, presence today.
There are a lot more.
Oh yeah, I noticed
Gilbert,
now
Miss
there are
Gilbert
15
is from
participants.
Grenada. Miss Gray is from Grenada.
Tamika and Urias. Joan. Does anybody have any other questions? Or can we all let you get on with the rest of your day?
Well, if you are having further suggestions we could consider for this proposal, if you have an idea which fits in somehow, you can also send us an email because we are working on it. So, well, it is a complex procedure doing these proposals, but as Julian said, it's not set in stone. So if you think you have an idea which can improve this, send an email.
Right, I've put our emails in the chat so you can reach us directly if you need to. And if there are no other questions, maybe if somebody from a particular school, for everybody that's come in from that school, if one rep sends me your email addresses, or at least one of you sends me your email address, I can send you the link to the recording and the PowerPoint, and then you will have this to review. Okay? Because I don't have all your contact details.
No. Okay. Then thank you very much. There's coming one in the chat. 2. And I believe the rest we have via Kimoy and Delise.
Yeah. Fantastic. Wonderful. Thank you all for your time today at such short notice. I hope you are understanding what we're trying to achieve better now. And we look forward to writing this proposal, and fingers crossed, God willing, we will be successful and we will be able